Hi everyone. I'd like to do a little review of a new little tool that I'd purchased from Harbor Freight. I know sometimes people are like, oh yeah, Harbor Freight, Chinese stuff. I kind of find it convenient to have a Harbor Freight around. I like to try out some of their products, and one of the things I wanted to try out was this 3-inch pneumatic polishing kit. I think I paid around $34, somewhere in that range for it. I've put about 8 hours of use on it. I have a boat that I have a larger Milwaukee electric polisher, and it does a great job on the hull, but getting into some of the detail areas, it's kind of a challenge. So this kit, it does come with the 3-inch, kind of the backing pad, if you will, that is hook and loop, and you can peel off the different pads. So this is the one pad that came with it. I've used the heck out of it. You can kind of see that it's normally has these lobes on it, but I've kind of through the 8 hours of use with heavy duty polishing compound, kind of a buffing compound that takes off oxidation, a gel coat, I've worn it down a little bit. So what I did do is I purchased another kit as well, so when I wear out these pads, I'd be able to replace them. I wasn't sure how long they'd last, but I've got to tell you, I'm kind of impressed that this one's held up as long as it has. There's this kind of pinkish, orangish one, and then there was a white one, which I've used for a kind of a polishing compound that is not as aggressive. So I use this heavier duty rubbing compound that takes off some of the oxidation, and then this really takes out any fine swirls. And then there's the kind of like a wool bonnet, if you will, which as I apply wax, I'm using that to kind of polish it off. So I use this with my Ingersoll Rand air compressor. So, have a fairly substantial tank. I've got like 16 CFM pretty much at any pressure. And, this is a twin cylinder setup, so it does a nice job with it. Give you kind of a feel for how it sounds. And it does have a high and low speed, which I do find does have some impact on the speed. And I can tell you what, I can press really hard against the surface that I'm working with the polishing compound, and I can't stall this thing out. I have been oiling it. It says, let's see here, it says oil daily. I've been oiling it approximately every hour. I'll put a couple drops of kind of pneumatic oil in there. But it's done a nice job. I'm going to show you some of the work that I've done with it here, so hold on a second. My boat is a 1984 Grady White Seafarer, and I've done a lot of restoration on it. And, for being a 1984, I know it sat outside, and, it received a lot of oxidation over the years. But you can see I worked, so here's kind of the two compounds. I use this rubbing compound, which is fairly aggressive. You got to be careful with it. You can tear away at gel coat or, fine surfaces, so you got to work it kind of carefully. And then this Finesse It 2, which I use on top, and then I follow up with some Nufinish, and you can kind of see the luster that I brought out in the gel coat. So kind of showing you some of that. So I've done all those surfaces. As I said, I can use my larger Milwaukee, but you got to be really careful. I can tear up graphics with that thing, and but I think I've done a nice job. I think the polisher's done a nice job of bringing out the luster. But here, back in this area of the boat, done a lot of work over the years, and one of the things I was working on with the polisher was getting these surfaces really buffed out and getting some shine back to them. Same with those areas, working my way around. You can kind of see got that shine coming back, which is pretty cool for a boat that's this old. So it's nice and handy to be able to work these surfaces without, having a huge polishing unit that trying to work in around it, getting in around these detail areas. It's been really nice. So again, kind of just showing, bringing back the shine. So as I said, and there's actually the little wool bonnet pad. So unit does a nice job. Lets you get in, work some of these, contoured surfaces really well, and really bring a nice shine out on the boat. And here's just a little walk kind of showing how work to bring the Gelcoat back. It was fairly well chalked out, and over the last couple of years I've been working at it, but until I bought this little unit it wasn't as consistent as I wanted it to be, so very happy with what I'm seeing. Even the hull of this thing, which I didn't use the little polisher on it, but you can definitely see got a nice shine to it. So after, as I said, 7-8 hours of use, this thing is not let me down. Kind of show you something here real quick. So run it. Not too bad on the ears. Fits my hand really well. I will say, my garage, this is wintertime. It's a little chilly out here. I can turn the heat up, but still compressed air running through it. Your hand does get cold being a metal tool, but you kind of get used to what you're dealing with there. And so yeah, thus far, very pleased with this purchase. I think it was well worth the money. Another item that I did buy that I'll end up doing another review on is this little mini orbital sander. I got that set up, and so that'll be a future review. I've got a couple things that I want to do with it that are kind of fine work where you can't get a bigger sander in. So I'll do that, but if you're looking at the 3-inch pneumatic polishing kit from Harbor Freight, at this point I am recommending it. So thanks for watching.